Hey everybody, stay tuned. Coming up next, Sports Central, we have some special guests. Mink from the Florida Marine Raiders, Cody McGhee from the Florida Youth Soccer Association, and of course, Bill Heath from Weber International University. Stick around everybody, Sports Central coming up. Hey everybody, and welcome to this edition of Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, and to my right, a stranger. Shouldn't be really a total stranger, Mr. Ryan Ritchie. Ryan, glad to have you with us. I haven't done a show with you in a long time.
It's been a while, a couple years. I had the opportunity to come back a couple weeks ago to the first show with Neil, but it's good to be back, and looking forward to all the great things going on here in Polk County.
Oh, absolutely. Well, this segment's being brought to us by the Holiday Inn of Winter Haven, and if you haven't been there, fantastic place and some great food they pump out of there as well. We're located right next to the ballpark, but you know, great location if you're into there for sports or meetings or conventions, and another hallmark of the development going on, the city of Winter Haven. But speaking of development, awful lot of stuff going on in Polk County right now. Absolutely unbelievable, just loaded with sporting events and activities, and just pumping millions of dollars back into the community. And that's what it's all about, Ryan.
Absolutely. You know, all the exciting things going on here in Polk County. You know, we talked about it last show, but moving back here to New York and seeing all the exciting things that are going on here with Legoland and Stream Song Resort down there in Fort Meade, and of course all the sporting events we put on here in Polk County. What an exciting time to be here.
Well, when you moved back down, did you have to get a snowmobile and head to the airport, or it was kind of rough up there, wasn't it?
It was a little rough, long winter, but we're back here in Florida and looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Well, great stuff. Well, again, speaking of development and great things going on in Polk County, a hallmark of, I like that word today, I'm not sure why, and you know, I guess Easter's over and birthdays, whatnot, but I just like that word. Anyway, bottom line is Florida Youth Soccer Association, the state governing body of soccer in the state of Florida, but it's affiliated with U.S. Soccer, which is the official Olympic Committee governing body. A junior executive, actually more of a senior executive. He looks more junior, but he's senior in his operations, and that is Mr. Cody McGhee.
How you doing, guys?
Doing great, Cody. Glad to have you with us. And you know, Florida Youth Soccer Association has done so much for so many in the state of Florida. Your headquarters are in Auburndale, recruiting by Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, getting the organization out of Orlando and right here into Polk County. And it's made a big difference to not only our economy, but to quality of life here as well. And you're a big part of that.
Well, it's a good thing. We were blessed with the ability to have 11 fields at Lake Myrtle. So the fact that when the office was in Orlando, we couldn't really bring anything into the area as far as tournaments are concerned. But when you have 11 fields, that automatically gives you kind of a host site, a staple site for wherever whatever event we want to bring in. And mainly that helps us bring in more tournaments, more players to whatever's going on in Polk County.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You know, we talk about the status as governing body, which is an important role, but you impact thousands and thousands of kids. What's your membership up to right now?
We actually have 280 clubs inside of the state of Florida and about 108,000 players in between the ages of 6 and 19.
Both male and female?
Male and female.
Okay.
And then we have anywhere between 20 and 25,000 officials, whether they be coaches or referees, which are counted throughout the clubs.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that's unbelievable. That's a lot of, I mean, that's the largest governing body in the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. Talk about the benefit of coming here to Central Florida and how that has made an impact to the organization. I know you're in Orlando, but being here in Polk County at Lake Myrtle Sports Park, talk about that benefit.
Florida's a little bit unique, and it's one of the very few states that are large in size as far as the length of Florida. Most states that are that large usually break up into two different state associations. For example, Texas or California. California has a north and south division, and Texas has a north and south division. Florida doesn't have that. Florida is one solid state. The benefit of being in Central Florida allows those teams who are playing, who normally play in Miami versus those teams who normally play in the Panhandle, don't have to drive, 6 or 7 hours to be able to get to an event. Those kids coming from Miami and those kids coming from the Panhandle only have to drive 4 or 5 hours to be able to get to the tournament that they're playing in. So the fact that it's in Central Florida is a huge benefit to everybody.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. The soccer itself, you take what's happened with soccer in the United States and really how fast it's grown. And arguably, soccer is, in many ways, replacing the NHL or hockey as one of the big 3 or 4 that are out there in terms of media visibility and participation, which segues nicely into the participatory side of things. I mean, soccer's huge worldwide. FIFA, the World Cup coming up this year in
In Brazil.
In Brazil, and that's certainly a big deal, and we can talk about that more later. But participants in the sport in the U.S., I mean, it's growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, the good thing in the recent numbers that have pulled out, soccer is one of the very few sports that didn't take a huge hit throughout the recession. We've always said that sports are they're not recession proof, but they're recession resistant. But soccer, I think, still grew, 5% over the last 5 or 6 years. So the youth in the United States is seeing how well the world is doing in soccer. And even while our national teams, whether they be the men's or the women's, as long as they start doing well, that growth follows that. And with the women's have won the World Cup. The women's had just won the Olympics not too long ago. Abby Wambach just took the most goals scored achievement, and which Mia Hamm had that before that. So we've got a lot of good players in the United States and a lot of good coaches that are kind of fueling that growth.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. men's team? I know they kind of hired a new coach. I was watching a special on ESPN the other day, but what are your thoughts on them? What are their chances in the World Cup this year?
We have real high hopes with that. They were drawn into a bracket that isn't the best bracket for them. So I think we all had a little bit of a downer moment when we saw who they're actually going to play. But we have really high hopes. And as far as soccer in the country, the publicity and the sheer involvement that comes from when the men's do well, the men's group can do very, very well, and we get a very big following. So we're hoping that they do as well as they did 8 years ago, because they went pretty far 8 years ago, and we're hoping that we get similar results this time.
Well, a little closer to home here, big event coming up this weekend, the 17th and 18th. It's the State Cup Finals. And that's a big deal. Tell our viewing audience a little bit about the State Cup Finals and how that system works to kind of push the elite teams right here to Polk.
Yeah, State Cup Finals is a part of the State Cup Tournament, which is kind of the Division I teams throughout the state. It's a 4-weekend tournament. It starts in March and it goes through May. This is the finals weekend. To start off, we had 502 teams for that tournament. We had 12 different sites going on the first weekend, and every weekend it dwindles down as people start advancing and other teams lose out. This weekend we'll have 70 teams at Lake Myrtle, which is over 1,000 players, anywhere from U13 all the way up to U19s, fighting for the chance to be number 1 in the state, which will allow them to go into the regional tournament that's hosted by U.S. Youth Soccer. And then from then on go on to the national tournament if they win the regional tournament. So right now in State Cup Finals for the U13s and U18s, this weekend we'll have 48 total teams in those age groups, and then the U19s will play their first round of the tournament this weekend, which will bring in another 22 teams. So we're going to have in a significant amount of players coming in.
Well, I know Ryan's kind of chomping at the bit here, but a real quick question on, let's say you have 1,000 kids coming in, at least. I mean, that may be a conservative number, but we've always talked about, particularly with the younger kids, they have a tendency to bring more people with them. But on average, one child that is our youth player that's participating in the event, About how many, mom, dad, do they bring a sibling? What's the average?
What we usually figure, especially for the State Cup finals, because mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather loves to come to that kind of tournament. So what we usually figure is 2.5 people. Would that be 2 parents and a sibling, and sometimes it's just 1 parent and a sibling, or just 2 parents. So every team has a max roster size, which is 22 players between the 13s and 18s. So you can figure out 48 teams times 22 players is how many players are coming for that group. And then you have roughly 2 to 3 people that are coming with those kids. So you're looking at over 2,000, 2,500 people that are coming to watch this game on a 2-week span this weekend. I mean, a two-day span this weekend.
That's unbelievable.
What an impact to the area. Just quickly, I know we got a few minutes left with you, but there's, after the State Cup finals, you kind of have an Olympic development showcase going on. Briefly talk about that, what's going on out there at Lake Myrtle.
ODP, or the Olympic development, is kind of your top-notch players. Those are the guys and girls that are going out for your national teams, where normally people see the women's and men's national teams that go to World Cup. There are also women and men's national teams that play in under divisions, like U20s, U23, that kind of thing. And those players are pretty much fighting for the bid to go to the World Cup when they get old enough. So these Olympic development program players are the pool that those teams fight from. So these next 2 events coming up in June, these are kids who are in the state of Florida, are the best of the best. They are playing and fighting against other people that are best of the best, just to be seen by the coaches that we have on staff.
Wow, that's phenomenal. It's a real feeder system, but it all starts right here in Polk County. I mean, that's
yeah. We actually have a girl playing in on the women's team for the coming up in their game in Orlando in June, who's a Florida player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really cool. We're excited.
That's fantastic
awesome
stuff. That's a testament to the quality of the program, and what kind of impact. And Cody, we appreciate what all you guys do. Over at FYSA, it's great organizations, had a huge impact here, and I know it's had an impact on the lives of the children and the families here in Polk County. So. Our gratitude, and appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we've talked about it a lot, ladies and gentlemen. However, we do have some great footage from a recent event out at Lake Myrtle Park, Florida Youth Soccer Association activity, a little event. Check it out. Ryan and Mark, we'll be back right after this.
Well, the Florida State Cup is an open competition for all teams that are in Division I, from age groups U13 through U19. We have 471 teams that started the competition that began in the end of March, and we are up to the round of Sweet 16 for all of those age groups. After today and tomorrow's play, we will be whittling down the round of 16 to the final 4, who will compete for our championships in the middle of May. There are 80 teams here that are our location this weekend, because we have 5 age groups and 16 teams in each. So probably several thousand people will be out at the complex this weekend, and tomorrow we'll have about half that many, since half of our teams competing today will go home.
The FYSA League it's definitely one of the more premier leagues in the country. I feel Florida does well in representing soccer at its best level. In this specific tournament, right now we're in the round of 16. There's 16 teams left in the State Cup. What we're trying to do is obviously continue to advance. We do have a huge target on our back by being the #1 seed in the state. But our main focus is just to go out there and do the best we can, work hard, apply ourselves, be tactically sound, and most importantly, technically sound. I think at the end of the day, we can walk away with the result that we're looking for. Our boys are getting better. I've been coaching this particular team for about 4 years. I had them when they were U9. It's been an incredible transition. We've seen the team grow from playing 6v6, 8v8 to now 11v11. We play a newer, modern style 4-3-3. It does incorporate the dynamic style of offensive play that we want, as well as incorporating now a defensive mechanism to keep a strong formation. So we do stay true to that Barcelona style soccer we like to play. At the most times, we do engage and attack and become very offensive minded.
Working with Florida Youth Soccer brings in a special role because you get to deal with over 100,000 kids, 20,000 coaches, 260 teams on a daily basis, where we can not only promote the game of soccer, but also give the youth something fun to play in between middle school and high school. Florida Youth Soccer is actually promoted through our sponsors, which are our 3 professional teams, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and Orlando City Soccer. Our top 3 sponsors are Publix, which is a brilliant sponsor of ours, always doing fantastic things for the kids. Another sponsor is Score Sports, which is our apparel sponsor, which is able to give us a great discount for our teams. Our 3rd large sponsor would be Polk County Tourism Sports Marketing, which hosts the majority of the events with us here at Lake Merrill Sports Park, which is where our home office is.
I enjoy every second of coaching. I think it's something that everybody should do at one point in their life because you build such a great relationship. You enjoy the sport so much more. You're so much more passionate. I can relate that passion to these kids and they can relate it back to me. So I'm living through them and we build such a nice bond.
I love being out here working with the kids and seeing the smiles on their faces. At times there's always some aggravating parts, but it just takes a couple of kids to come up afterward and say thank you and how much they appreciate all that you do. That keeps bringing all the volunteers back who are a part of this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson here along with Ryan Ritchie, and you know, some great footage from FYSA, and you know, another participant, another supporter, if you will, of the economy here in Polk County. But another one is our next segment sponsor, and that's Visit Florida. Visit Florida, of course, is the official tourism marketing arm of the state of Florida, and on pace to set a record year of 100 million visitors to the state of Florida, which of course is one of the reasons, and they are one of the reasons that we don't pay personal income tax. And coming from New York, what is that, 7-8% up there?
That's 7%.
Yeah.
I see a little bit more in my paycheck, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Visit Florida, they have done so much for this state. And of course, Governor Scott has done a tremendous job, kind of the tourism governor, if you will, of bolstering their activities. Will Suckham, of course, is the CEO and president of Visit Florida. But talk about a group that has done such a marvelous job in helping Polk County, particularly with Sun and Fun. Came in as a title sponsor. They just made all the difference in the world, and you could see it in the numbers this year. Just phenomenal.
Absolutely, and I know you talk about it all the time, but partnerships is key to everything that we do here in the county, and the Sun and Fun this year, what a beautiful event, and thanks to Visit Florida, absolutely, for everything that they do here. What a great partner.
Oh, unbelievable, phenomenal. They get it as well. That was a great little segment we had on FYSA, and of course, Cody McGhee was a former intern with Polk County Sports Marketing, and you know, he learned the sports side of things from Mark Zimmerman and his crew. Learned some administrative tricks from Christine Foley, you know, on how to manage and those types of things. And that was
I just saw Christine at Bach Tower.
So she took him under her wing and helped him with that, and he took the sports stuff and the administrative stuff, and wow, now he's an executive with Florida Youth Soccer Association. So that's the way it should work.
Absolutely, sharp kid,
straightened him out.
Weber International. So good partner.
Good partner, absolutely. Well, speaking of good partners, there's an organization in town that we're very, very fond of. It's an organization that we call our own in many ways, and that's the Florida Marine Raiders. It's our indoor football team, play at the Lakeland Center, and with us, the manager, owner, Michael Mink. Michael, thanks so much for joining us. You are one busy guy, and you've got a big game coming up tomorrow.
It's always a pleasure. Yeah, big game against Georgia, you know, so you know, we have some nice rivalries in the league, and we just got done playing Alabama in Birmingham, and beat them on the road to keep our hopes alive. And we got to beat Georgia on Saturday night, and it's going to get us in the X Bowl championship in St. Louis on June 14th.
It's in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's in St. Louis.
I didn't know it was in St. Louis, but okay. St. Louis Attack, right?
Yeah, St. Louis Attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about the team. How are they doing? They healthy? Are they ready for this? Because a must win next game. It's a must win, so they got to be ready to play, right?
Yeah, we're actually, if you look at our lineup cards our first 7 games, it's been a different lineup every game. It's funny because the Georgia coach was telling me, he goes, I went to the Alabama game, I didn't recognize you guys. It's like, we now have Matt Parsons at quarterback. He's 6'6" quarterback out of New Mexico State, who's done a great job coming into the second half. The second half of the season, he was perfect on Saturday night and on Friday night in Alabama. Second half through 2 TDs, no interceptions, and that was like one of the first halves, or any half or quarter we didn't have an interception in.
Yeah.
That's been our biggest Achilles heel this year, has been turnovers, picks. We're upside down in the turnover category, and we were finally able to reverse that on the road. So that was big for us. But we're finally getting healthy and getting this win against Georgia. We've got a non-conference game the next week, and then we have a couple weeks to get ready for the championship game. We could have our best lineup of the season June 14th, which is exciting for us because we lost by 2 points to the Attack at home on the phantom call, where they got an extra 9 seconds on the clock, where the official thought the quarterback spiked it. He actually threw an incomplete pass, and the game was over. So we actually had really. You look at the film, we won the game. They got an extra play. It's like that play in the NFL that time.
Yeah.
When they got the extra play, but we're not going to affect home field advantage. So we're not going to dispute it. We're just going to let it soak in. Get our guys a little bit more angry, get them working harder in practice.
What are you going to have to do tomorrow night? This is huge. And are you going to do anything differently without giving anything away here on TV? But, you've got to look at this game as a make or break.
Yeah, we've got a big offensive line. We Adam Duckett, 6'8", 355 from Georgia Military.
Yeah.
We have a running back, Levi Rains. He's like the number 80th best player ever in South Carolina history. He's our tailback. Leads the league in running. We're an indoor team.
Yeah.
7.8 yards a carry.
Wow.
We have Xavier McKenzie from Alabama State, like 325 at the center, and Ted Watson from South Florida, another 325 guard. So we're going to pound the football. We're indoor. We run a wildcat. We've got Maurice Francois, who's a quarterback at Bethune-Cookman. He's also another guy that comes in. We got Matt, of course, New Mexico State. Got Chris Griffin locally. So we got a lot of weapons, a lot of speed, and we lead the league in rushing indoors. And we're going to continue that. We didn't even dress a kicker last game. Went for 2 every time. Yeah. And we were 6 out of 7 on 2-point conversions out of this wildcat formation.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to go right at them. They're a little undersized. They got a very quick team. They got a new quarterback that throws the ball very well. The veteran. So we got to play good defensively, and we got to be able to not turn over the ball, hold on to that ball, and maintain the clock possession, and can keep their offense off the field, and us keep continually scoring every possession.
Yeah.
I know you talk about where a lot of these players are coming from, South Carolina, New Mexico State. Is there like a draft process? How do you get these players to come to Lakeland or the other teams in the area? Is there a draft along with that, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, it's mostly agents. A lot of agents call you. We have tryout camps, free agent camps. We go around and do that. Reputation. I've been in 10 years. I'm coaching, so I'm in the professional arena game. So a lot of guys are calling me. I've moved up about 80 players in 10 years. And I was talking to the athletic director from Weber International. Josh Long, who was here with us. Was a product from there, and he went to Chargers camp. So there's guys locally. We got to do a better job locally looking at players. Even from the surrounding colleges, and trying to get guys to us. Here, because the state of Florida has a lot of great ball players. And this year we got more Florida players than we ever had on our roster than out-of-state players. And we have Prince Hall from the University of Alabama, a kid from Oklahoma, and Matt Parsons, who went to New Mexico State. And that's about it. And the rest of the guys are Florida-born products.
Jeez. I didn't know it was, I didn't know it was quite. I knew it was high. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was quite that high. But you know, you've got to not to look too far ahead. But games are at the Lakeland Center. Both the game on the 17th,
Yes, sir.
as well as the one on the 24th. And you know, obviously, when you go, you realize how into the game your fan base is. You know, I don't know where that came from or how you did it, but it's fun to watch. That's almost as much fun as watching the game.
Yeah, I mean, we got a solid fan base. Our only problem we have is walk-up sales. You know,
Yeah.
if we can get you to the game, you always come back.
Yeah.
You know, or you come back half the time. You know, because the game is enjoyable. It's fast. The music playing, a lot of prizes given away. It's entertainment also.
Balls in the crowd, you get to keep them.
Yeah, 40, 50
Great.
balls a game. You know, so people get to go. The kid gets going with the ball. You know, not like the NFL where the ball goes in the stands and they send the authorities down on you. You know, which I never understood that. You know, you're paying
It's just like
$100 a ticket, and
Yeah.
I got a football, and all of a sudden there's 5 deputies coming down the staircase. You know, get it back in the game. It's not that important. So
Yeah.
our balls stay in the stands, and the kids love them.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely key. One, it's affordable. Two, the youth are getting involved. I know there's you know, a youth league that in conjunction with you guys, you have got started. Talk a little bit about that and the youth league that you guys have going on.
Yeah, I started a youth league last season. It was the Raiders for Kids Youth League. We have ages 8 to 16. They're playing the arena ball before us. So they start at 8 a.m. and then they go to about 3:30. And then we take over the arena around 4 o'clock. But they play 6 games, 3 divisions, you know, 14 per division. This year we have Polk City, Arbondale, Bartow, and Fort Meade. And so the semifinal playoffs are Saturday. So I can't wait to get to the arena Saturday morning.
Michael,
watching those.
What kind of rules do they play by? Do they play by your rules, or do they play by the normal?
They're very close to our rules. It's funny because the UIFL last year, the rules were way different for them than the UIFL last year. But the X League this year is more the rules that they play by. They were already playing last year.
Yeah.
Because the X League, I wrote the rules for the X League, you know, so they're more in playing the X League rules this year, you know, because we only have one guy in motion, and you know, just like the AFL does, and then the UIFL we had 2 guys in motion, so and we're allowed 2 backs in the backfield, and last year we were allowed 1 back in the backfield.
Right.
You know, so that makes a difference when you're trying to run the ball. You actually can put a fullback in there with a tailback.
Blocker, yeah.
Yeah, blocker. So, I mean, those kids love it, and I tell you, it's great to watch those kids play. I mean, they actually love it playing more indoors than outdoors because they got all the music going. You know, they're dancing on the field. Kids like to have a good time.
As you know, and it's about the experience for these kids. So I think you know it's really to me something that you're sort of giving back to the community, getting the community involved, doing something for the kids, give them something to shoot for, to aspire to. So we appreciate that. Appreciate all you do. And again, the game this Saturday and then the following Saturday on the 24th starts at 7 o'clock, but you need to get there early, like 6 o'clock, so you can enjoy the food and the festivities, the music, and all that.
Well, this week we're doing military appreciation.
That's correct. I totally forgot that one.
So all military veterans, active duty, are free with their ID.
Wow.
So an appreciation, not half off or anything. They're free, totally free.
Okay.
On you know, because you know we're the Marine Raiders. Our moniker is we represent the U.S. Marine Corps, the 4 lost Raider battalions from World War II. We represent that, which has like 17 survivors left.
Yeah.
We represent that organization, and that we're not pirates. We're U.S. Marine Corps Marine Raiders. So
there you go.
Military appreciation this Saturday night against Georgia, and hopefully we'll have a lot of guys in uniform, and the guys that come in uniform actually get to walk on the field with the team before the game.
Cool.
Wow,
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Give us the website, just so people want to check out dates, times, and so on.
www.marineraiders.com.
MarineRaiders.com. There
That's
we have
right.
it. Michael, I know you're busy. You know, you're prepping for the game. Best of luck this
Appreciate
week and next, and we're going to see you in the playoffs. I'm confident. We appreciate you coming out.
I appreciate it, and thanks always for the invite, and it's a great show, and thanks for your hospitality.
Oh,
problem.
absolutely.
All right.
Well, everybody, wow, that's a special time and honoring a special group of people this coming weekend. Actually, tomorrow, the 18th, at the Lakeland Center. Game starts at 7 o'clock. So go on out. Say hi to Michael when you're out there, by the way. He's going to be busy, but always manages to say hello to the kids and the fans out there. And speaking of fans, we're a big fan of the Florida Sunshine State Games. It is the state Olympic-style games for Florida, and it will be taking place here in Polk County. A good portion of it will be, and again, that will be at the Lakeland Center. Dates and times coming up. Check out this footage. Ryan Ritchie, Mark Jackson, will be back right after this. Stay with us, everyone.
I don't know if there's a more exciting day at the Lakeland Center than the Saturday of the Sunshine State Games like we have here today. We've got kids and adults from all over the state of Florida that are participating in a lot of action-packed sports. Right here in the Sykes Hall, we've got judo, where the competitors are throwing each other around in their matches.
They've been training very hard. They're excited about their first tournament, and they're just anxious to go, but they're the older kids, so they got to wait a little bit, and they're chomping at the bit.
Across the hall, we've got fencing, where they're going at it with swords. In the Jenkins Arena, we've got people lifting incredible amounts of weight.
For the clean and jerk, I did 90 kilos, which is a personal best for me. It was a new total for me, so I'm moving up in the ranks of weightlifting. I have been the top 8 in the nation in my weight class, and hopefully the 2016 Olympics are in my sights. So being a gymnast, I was really strong, had really great body awareness and conditioning, and it just was a really easy transition into weightlifting, and I caught on to the movements really fast and the technique, and it turned out to be really fun, and I really enjoyed it, staying in shape and being strong.
There's karate sparring going on with kicking and punching, and then on the other side of Jenkins Arena, they're breaking boards and breaking cinder blocks, as well as sparring over there. And then over in Winter Haven at Polk State College, we've got wrestling going on as well. So it's an action-packed day here at the Lakeland Center.
Good. The fencing part of the Sunshine State Game is an excellent tournament, and so I like to come here. There's lots of people and a lot of, it's well run, and there's a lot of us that come because we do like it. Started when I was 15, and I am now 75, so I guess 60 years.
5 sports today here at the Lakeland Center. We've got well over 1,000 athletes competing. And this is we've had a Sunshine State Games Festival here in Polk County every year since 2007, from a local level to a state level, and then hopefully to a national level, and then also to an international level, with the Olympic Games being the final piece of the puzzle for a lot of these amateur athletes. Overall, we've had over 9,000 athletes competing in the 28 sports of the Sunshine State Games this year.
Sunshine State Games was a lot of fun. I'm glad I drove 7 hours from Pensacola to get here. It was good, yeah.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. What about that action at the Florida Sunshine State Games? And that's coming up here in another month. Judo, weightlifting. Man, that chick just clean and jerk. I mean, holy smokes, that was 2 1/4.
I certainly wouldn't want to mess with her. I know that. That's for sure. I'm just saying.
Hey, you need to, put on some groceries. Maybe go to Abuelo's, who is our next sponsor.
Ooh, I'll tell you, I'm surprised you can't hear my stomach over the microphone. I mean, it is growling.
It's good stuff, man.
Absolutely. Florida Sunshine State Games, another great event here in Polk County. Coming back here soon.
You see Nick Gandy?
Oh, yeah.
Just if he put on like 200 pounds, he'd look like Kris Kringle. He lost a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of weight. Looks great, and boy, he got on a mission. And anyway, got to get off of that one and get to our next guest, who is a special guest, and he's no stranger to Sports Central, and that's Bill Heath, the athletic director at Weber International University. And if you haven't been out to Weber recently, you got to check it out. I mean, oh my gosh, they got a weight room there I would die for. This is huge, and I mean, it just.
I should probably get out there so I can do that. I should do that clean and jerk there.
Anyway. Obviously, one of the great architects of a great program. Bill, glad to have you with us.
It is always good to be here, Mark. Yeah, I enjoy coming down.
I know you're a busy guy, but I don't know who keeps you busier, the Weber Athletics or your wife. Both of them run you pretty.
Close call.
Yeah. Oh, Stella Heath.
Close call.
A lot of you don't know it is executive director of the Ritz Theater in Winter Haven, and. Obviously a big supporter of sports and the arts. And Bill, wow, a lot of national championships going on right now. I mean, I don't know how you keep up with it.
Well, it's a busy time. We take our athletics very seriously at Weber. Even though we're a small school, we're an NAI school, and we've had an exciting spring. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to win any more national championships at this point, but I'm real proud of the coaches and the student athletes that did have a great season and represented us well at the Nationals. Bowling, as we all know, has done a fantastic job. Probably one of the greatest sports we've added to our athletic program in quite a while. It gets a lot of national and worldwide recognition. A lot of that has to do with Kegel Training Center, which is the top training center in the world. Our players get to practice there every day. They get some of the best coaching in the world and the best facility in the world to practice in. And I say that because national teams from all over the world, other college teams from all over the nation, and pro bowlers go to Kegel and train with the coaches there and at their facility. So it speaks volumes of our partnership with them. It was a good call on our part at that time when we started the program to partner with Kegel. And I feel like that's why we're so good today. Our women's team won their sectional tournament up in Allentown. The men's team won the sectional in Allentown, Pennsylvania. From there, they went to Chicago to bowl in the NAI National Championships. Our women won the national championship again in the NAI, and we were very proud of that. Unfortunately, at the USBC Nationals in Reno, Nevada, both teams fell short, did not win. We did not have a national champion at the USBC. but we had a national individual champion. And as I have said to everybody I run in contact with, I think that Diana Zavlarova, tough name, is the best female bowler in the world. And I tell everybody that. At the national championships in the semifinals, she bowled a 290, and in the championship match, a 289. That means 2 balls that she threw were not strikes during the 2 matches that she bowled. And,
I bowled in high school. I was a New York State champion, and I have a 299 game. But I was watching her on CBS Sports Channel the other night, and I'm like, man, what a bright future for her. I mean, I just can't
great
believe.
kid too. We had her on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on in, Bill, I want to say that was a year ago.
Yeah.
That we had her on.
I think so.
And just she's from Latvia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she will bowl for Latvia in the World Championships, and she's excited about that. She's excited about her future professional career because she is going to turn into a professional bowler. That's what she's going to do. She did graduate. She got her bachelor's degree at our graduation ceremonies earlier this month. And I also want to mention another bowler's name because he made it to the semifinals in the singles at the USBC National Championship, and that's Nate Rinelli. Very good bowler himself. He's a Florida boy. He's from Port St. Lucie, and we're very proud of Nate too for getting to the semifinals in the national championships as an individual bowler.
And in the United States Bowling Congress is the acronym USBC spelled out, and unfortunately they were based in Milwaukee, Greenfield, Milwaukee, and then moved to Texas. Great recruiting move just outside of Dallas now.
They have moved. You're correct. Mm-hmm.
And but the championships you said are in Reno.
Reno, Nevada this past year is where the championships were.
I know there's an awful lot of events, bowling events there. Of course, I didn't know if you knew this. Bowling is the #1 participatory sport in the United States. 53 million people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's a good sport.
I've got a lot of useless statistics up here.
I like it. I like it.
But anyway, there you have it. So now you can tell your wife tonight and she'll sleep better.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, let's go on to another sport that you guys have excelled in, and that's the tennis team.
Tennis team, yes. Tennis has always been a solid sport for us, especially the men's team. I know I coached tennis there for 22 years, men and women, and we managed to go to the national championships 11 times with the men and 7 times with the women. After I gave up coaching, and Patricio Misatrano took my place, and he took the team to nationals the next year, and then he got offered a very high-powered job, and I was very proud of him. And my son Trey Heath took over coaching the team. He took them to nationals the 2 years that he coached, and then he was offered the position at Florida Southern, and he's the head men's tennis coach at Florida Southern.
Yeah, I want to get underneath Dad's wing.
So,
I think.
yeah. But no, I'm very proud of him. He's done a great job for Florida Southern. But we'd had 6 years we didn't go, and that's unheard of at Weber. We had 6 consecutive years, and Robert Hollis, our current head coach, really worked hard this year. Had a good team that improved as the season went along, and we played very well at the conference tournament, which enabled us to get ranked high enough to get the at-large bid. Unfortunately, we lost to Aquinas University out of Michigan first round, 6-3. It was a close match, a hard-fought match, and I was proud of our boys. You know, as they say in a lot of these tournaments, it's the luck of the draw. There was plenty of teams there that we could have beaten, and we could have beaten Aquinas, but they played better than us that day, and they got the win. But I was very proud that tennis, and we got a lot of congratulatory messages from all over the world congratulating us on getting back to nationals. So that was a cool experience to get to go back.
Bill, when you talk about these sports, and you know, we talked about bowling and tennis and golf and triathlon and all the champions they have, and a quality football program, obviously at Weber as well. What, on top of getting a quality education at Weber, what brings these athletes to Weber and participating in the athletics? What brings them there?
Well, as you guys are well aware of, we are a business university, and we do preach that. The education you get at Weber is, I think, really second to none in the business world. I was sitting out there talking to Cody McGhee, and he said the things he's learned at Weber is what he's used at his job, and he's been very successful at his job. I know we all know that. I think you can also agree that our sport management majors that have come and worked with
lots of
sports
interns
have always done a good job for you guys. They're well versed, well trained in their field they're going into. Our professors at Weber, most of them have worked in the real world, so they know what they're talking about. The students understand that, and they take it to heart. So we have had a lot of success stories. So that has a lot to do with why the kids do come to Weber, because we do offer a great education. And I think, and I'm a little prejudiced on this end, I think we have a swell athletic program too. We try very hard to have an elite athletic program there. Our facilities, as you said, our weight room, I would match anybody with that.
That's unbelievable.
Any NAI school in the nation. We have 2 athletic training rooms. We have a full staff of athletic trainers, 6 athletic trainers. During football season, we get interns from Florida Southern, Florida Gulf Coast, and other schools around the nation that come in and do their internships with us because of football. Same thing in the spring, when we do spring practice, interns come in and work the spring practices. The fitness center has a full staff of strength and conditioning coaches. We have 3 full-time strength and conditioning coaches and 6 to 8 interns each semester. Every intern is responsible for a team. So our teams are well trained, they're in great physical condition, and that enables us to be more competitive than maybe we should be for a school our size. So I'm very proud of what we've put together there as far as the strength and conditioning programs and our athletic training facilities
It doesn't hurt as a draw to be located on a beautiful lake either.
Crooked Lake is a plus.
There's no question about that. But Dr. Wade, of course, the president of Weber, has just done a great job on the academic side, and Bill, the architect, on the sports side. But you mentioned something a little earlier that is critically important. So often in some of the major universities, academia has never been out in the real world. It's all book learning, studies this, studies that. But until you have to put a paycheck on somebody else's table and responsible for that, or there's nothing like working in the private sector to give you a real feel. That's who they're bringing in for professors, and so you get that real world experience. That, hey, folks, this is really what's going on. Big difference, and I applaud that philosophy, and a little bit of that happens in their athletics, and that's why it's been so doggone successful. Well, Bill, thanks so much for joining us. Great program, great athletic program. I know the triathlon team out in Tempe, Arizona, did fairly well, and the tennis. It's just on and on and on about the great sports.
The golf team is still competing at nationals right now in Daytona. The last round is today. And our track and field has 3 women and 3 men going to the national championships that qualified. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good
stuff right here from Polk County. Well, everybody, Bill, by the way, thank you very much. And everyone, we've talked a little bit about partnerships and how important they are. Well, we talked and celebrated our partners in the tourism world, sports being a big part of that, just last week for National Tourism Week. Kind of a fun time. This is a little fun segment. Check this out. Mark and Ryan will both be back, hopefully, right after this. On to the awards. All right. Our tourism rally is in large part to honor one single organization or individual that has excelled in the past year. And it's the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award. Mr. Pope was a phenomenal individual. Dick Pope Jr. was a great guy. Happened to ski there 22 years, mostly part-time with one of, actually, Jeannie, why don't you come up here and we'll do a couple of Adagio doubles lifts. I don't think she'll let me do that now, but we traveled the world together doing that. But Mr. Pope epitomized tourism in the state of Florida. He was Mr. Tourism. And that dated back all the way to the 20s and the 30s. Well, this year, the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award goes to an organization that has been committed to Polk County for 78 years. I also have to say a lot about the Lakeland Chamber as well with Jackie and what they have done. That scramble has raised tens of thousands of dollars throughout the years of the 16 years for charities throughout Polk County. Yes, corporate America gives back. The Tigers give back each and every day. It's a great organization. I'm proud to know them. I'm proud to be associated with them. They just happened to steal one of our best employees by the name of Zach Burek after we trained him. But nonetheless, we have a great relationship with Zach and, of course, the director of the Florida operations, Mr. Ron Myers. And at this time, I'd like to present the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award to the Detroit Tigers. And accepting on behalf of the Tigers today is Zach Burek, former Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing Business Development Director for the Tigers, Mr. Zach Burek. Zach?
Well, thank you, Mark, and to be associated with the name of Dick Pope in this community is amazing, and to be a part of that is great. We want to thank, on behalf of the Tigers organization, Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, our Board of County Commissioners. Mark mentioned our TDC members here with Jackie, Frank, Desiree, and John. You can't be 78 years without great partners, and we certainly have that here with our county officials, with Jackie and the Chamber, our TDC, and we're proud of that. Obviously, our City of Lakeland folks, Bill Tinsley and Bob Donahue and their whole staff. So on behalf of the organization, we're thrilled. Mark mentioned all the teams that are leaving. We're here, and the great part about what we're doing here is we're a year-round operation. The Flying Tigers have been playing minor league baseball here for 60 years, and we're proud of that, and hopefully be here for 60, 70, 80 years to come. So thank you very much, and this is a great honor, and it's a thrill to be recognized.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Wow, what a great time that was up there, and what an honor for the Detroit Tigers winning the Dick Pope Senior Award of the Year, Tourism Award of the Year. And I know that there was some coverage in the Ledger, which just happens to be our segment sponsor.
Nice little segue.
Yeah, that was smooth. Yeah,
I like it. Well, Mark, the National Tourism Week, I don't think we could thank our partners, the hotels, the motels, the vacation rental homes, and the restaurants. And I know I'm probably missing a few people, but I don't think we can thank them enough for everything that they do for the county. And that week, last week, National Tourism Week, was just a time for us to go out and thank everybody for what they do here. And like you said, to me, it's all about partnerships.
Well, it is, and a lot of people you'll hear during the winter months will be complaining about, these tourists, and I've got to wait in line for this, that, and the other. And we talked a little about it earlier in the show. Why is tourism important to the state of Florida, and why is it important to Polk County? Well, it's real simple, and you have to look at tourism like this. Is that we get out there and recruit these tourists in, and they simply are just dumping bucket loads of money into Polk County. It goes into the businesses, it pays people's salaries, puts food on people's table. It's the #1 industry in this state. And it's one of the reasons that Florida recovered from the Great Recession so quickly. And actually, tourism and sports careers and jobs led the recovery in terms of helping to drop the unemployment rate. But it's been arguably a great part of tourism's impact on the state of Florida.
Absolutely, and
So-
like we said earlier on, it's a little bit more of my paycheck and not paying that New York State income tax. That's why I'm here.
Here's an easy way to explain it to little kids. You ask them, well, do you like more money in your paycheck? Or do you think you'd like less money in your paycheck? Oh, I like more money in my paycheck. Then that means you like tourism.
That's how I reacted.
There you go. Hey, we got to get to the local update, everybody, and there's a lot to talk about. Hey, we got to talk about, too, the Detroit Tigers, our home team, spring training team. 3-game stand against Boston coming up. First game today, tomorrow, and Sunday. But the Lakeland Flying Tigers have an 8-game homestand starting tonight at Joker Marchant Stadium. They will have fireworks tonight and fireworks on Saturday night, and it's against St. Lucie, then followed by 4 games against Charlotte.
Absolutely. I know they're having a great season on top of Detroit.
Best record in the Florida State League.
Yep. I knew you were going to get it.
I was the Grapefruit League. No, it's not. You run that stuff through your head. Anyway, check it out. Detroit Tigers, and of course Zach Burek. Saw him just a little bit earlier. Had him on a radio show last night.
Yep.
Don't get if you haven't had a chance, check that out too. Sports Central on WLKF. 5 o'clock, one of the most popular shows in Central Florida on Thursdays.
Absolutely. I listened to it last night on the way home. You sounded great.
I have a face for radio.
Yeah, that's what they told me too. Somehow I made my way on the TV show. But another great partner of ours, YBOA, is going to be in town at the end of the month. I know that they got their Summer Slam coming up at the end of the month.
Youth Basketball of America is the acronym for that. And then the USSSA Boys High School State Championships. Now that's going to be at Florida Southern College. The dates of that, May 23rd through May 26th. So right around the corner. That's a big deal. A lot of teams coming in for that.
Oh yeah, a lot of other events going on that time frame too. The Disney Memorial Day Soccer Shootout over at Lake Myrtle Sports Park. So that's going on as well. We had some of the members of the 60th annual Florida State Square and Round Dance competition.
That's pretty cool stuff.
It is. It is.
But we do have some people to thank because we could go on for a long time.
Oh yeah. We absolutely could. In fact, I can't.
You're just looking for it?
I can't even find my script
I
here.
do know that Abuelos is one of them, and Holiday Inn Winter Haven, another one, the Ledger. So we've had a great opportunity here, and you know, I just can't say enough about those that support us, Public Supermarkets, and Visit Florida, Florida's official tourism marketing arm.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm almost out of breath. Well, our next show, believe it or not, our next live show, everyone, is May 30th. Make sure you check it out. However, this show re-airs every single day. You can check out the following dates and times, or you can go to polk-county.net, click on PGTV. Many thanks go out to the PGTV production crew and the Public Information Office and Mayanne Nelson right here with PGTV. Thanks so much. This is Mark Jackson for Ryan Ritchie. We'll see you again next time.